Hi, I'm CJ Altenberg with Transwest Truck Trailer RV in Frederick, Colorado. Appreciate you tuning in this morning. If you are in the market for a stock combo with living quarters, this is a really cool one we have sitting behind us. This is a used 2023 Cimarron Lonestar with the living quarters. Now, I do not like the term like new because it's not. It's drove over the curb. It's got some depreciation. It is a used unit. But there are some versions out there that are lightly used, and that's exactly what this trailer is here. So we originally sold this trailer. Customers took it home, parked it in their shop, ended up not using it how they thought they were going to, and really not using it at all. So we're gonna walk you through it, and I'm gonna show you how little of use this trailer actually has gotten. Now, we'll go ahead and take a look at the drawing because I want to show you how this trailer is actually laid out. So again, it's a stock LQ. So we have a 13.8 with slide out living quarters on this guy, a mid-tack, and then a 16-foot stall area. Overall, this trailer is 36 foot on the floor. We're 8 foot wide. We're 7'7" tall. Now, like I said, it's got a 13.8 living quarters with a slide out. This is an Outlaw Conversions that we're going to show you. We are an Outlaw dealer, and this one here is actually an Outlaw. So there's a couple versions of this layout itself. There's a Pro Line version, which is Outlaw's production model. This one here, we actually went and made it an actual Outlaw. So let's walk you through this trailer. These trailers become so popular just because of their versatility, and I'll show you that when we really get into that mid-tack in the stall area. But first and foremost, if you look at the front of this trailer, you're gonna notice the dual jacks. And the reason why is anytime we do a slide out on one of these, Cimarron likes to put the dual jacks. We're a big fan of that as well. Because one, we can actually level the trailer front and back, obviously, nose to tail. But because we have these on individual switches, we can level it out side to side as well. But anytime they do a slide out or you get to a big enough trailer, the dual jacks are a nice way to go. It's equalizer. It does have a manual override on it as well. But the switches are right over here on driver's side. Again, they're individually switched, so I can work the trailer from side to side. I also love this feature when you're hooking up to a truck, because if you're not perfectly square above the ball, maybe you're off just a hair, you can actually tip the trailer with the dual jacks, and on dual switches you can work the trailer actually onto the truck if you're not perfectly square underneath it. Now this one here, we upgraded to the 30-pound tanks on this one. This is a really nice feature. I mean, standard comes with 20s, but we really like the 30-pounders just because of the extra capacity you have. You're not changing tanks quite as often in this type of scenario. Spare tires located there in the middle. Because of it being living quarters in the jacks, you're going to get a couple house batteries. You can see the battery disconnect here. This is a big storage actually box itself. You can go in and put more batteries in if you'd like. I love the way that Cimarron, especially from the Outlaw side on our living quarters, they'll go in and they'll label everything. So everything's labeled extremely well on where things are going to. So anytime you have somebody that might need to work on this, maybe they're not maybe it's not our shop where they know exactly where to look at, Outlaw can get on the phone and say, hey, look for this color wire, it's going to be here. Everything's labeled very easily. That's going to save a lot of time and hassle from trying to find things. Well, then what's over here? We did another box when we originally built this trailer, and this is just for storage. We just said, hey, just give us a box that goes full width. This way, look, if you need to throw some tools up here, maybe have a tire changing ramp, anything like that, this is a great place to put things. I also like to recommend to customers in these boxes, get you a box of disposable gloves. I'm more of a fan of like the AI, the long sleeve gloves for any time you're dumping your tanks. You can just reach up here, grab a couple disposable gloves. This is actually the tube that holds your hose when you go to dump your tank. So you'll dump your black tank first, then you'll switch over to your gray tank. That way it flushes anything out, and then boom, you just take your gloves off, throw them away. But this is a great place to store those type of items when you're traveling. So under here, really good setup. Again, the jacks are fantastic. The last piece under here, you're gonna notice just to the left of this box as you're looking at it, That's our actual pump. So this trailer's got electric over hydraulic brakes on it. So there's the pump to actually run those brakes. We'll talk a little bit more about those axles and how that's set up here in a little bit. So a couple years ago, they changed to the frameless windows. So you're gonna get that. It's a sleek, clean look to the trailer, in my opinion, on the living quarters side of it. When we look at this trailer from the outside here, you're gonna notice that we have an awning up top. This is an electric awning, so all you have to do is push a button and it'll roll out. Outside speakers, so you have a place to entertain. You've got some lights. You even have an outlet out here. This way, if you want to, you know, plug in like a little portable grill, something like that, that's just powered by electricity, you can plug that in here. But again, this big awning, you have a 4-foot offset, so it's a 13/8 short wall. That means we have a 17/8 long wall. And if you look at the size of that awning, that guy is massive. I believe that's an 18-footer. It actually gets into our actual mid-tack area there, but a good size awning. Again, you push a button, it rolls out, push a button, it rolls back in. Now, this one here, we opted for the Cimarron built door. With that, you're gonna get a folding screen door that retracts. But this guy here is, instead of doing a camper style, that's a really lightweight door, this is a high-end trailer. Let's go ahead and put a heavy-duty actual door on it, and that's what you're gonna get here. As you can see, Outlaw's finished it off with just their soft touch material, just dressing it up, making it match the rest of the trailer. But then as we come in, this is a cool setup. Like I said, there's a Pro line version of this, but this one here we did is an Outlaw. And the reason why is more of when we compared the cost of the two and then looked at warranty, we felt like we had a little bit more you know, options as far as finishing off the trailer, but we go to a 3-year warranty when it's brand new. Now, this warranty here will be able to be transferred to the new owner from the original purchase date. There is a $150 fee that you'll have to pay that we'll send that into Outlaw, but you will have that warranty from the original purchase date. So that's why we like going with this type of setup. But as you can see, as you walk in here, this is what makes this setup so cool, is you have a dual seating sleeping area down here in the main living part. In the slide out, we did the dinette, which this guy here will break down into a bed. Maybe sometimes you just want to leave it up as an actual dinette itself. And then on the drop wall is actually going to be the sofa sleeper. So that's where you get this dual seating sleeping area. Now, this one here is actually a Liftco electric slide out on this guy here. So it doesn't have quite as big of a footprint as your HWH, your big hydraulic slide outs do. So we can actually cram, you know, this type of a setup in a little bit smaller footprint. But really good setup. Everybody really likes these. A lot of storage in here underneath this dinette. Because it's an electric slide, we can't put our water in there. So we put these big drawers under here. This is great to keep some, you know, linens and pillows, stuff like that. If you're needing to actually change this out, bed sheets, blankets, those type of deals, you break that dinette down, you break down this sofa. That's a good place to store those items. The water tank is actually located underneath this sofa. It's a 60-gallon fresh water tank. I'll show you the fills when we get to the outside, but again, this guy breaks down, that guy breaks down. And then obviously up in your gooseneck area, you're gonna have a bed area up there. You've got some cabinets up front, along the side, then you have some overhead cabinets over here on the driver's side for you to actually go ahead and store some items there. You know, you're gonna have your CD player, DVD player located up there as well. And then as we get over to the kitchen area, sink with the cover on it, 2-burner cooktop with the cover on there. We did a convection oven on this. So the convection oven's, again, a bigger footprint than a standard microwave. So we lose a little bit of cabinetry as far as that's concerned, but you know, boy, does that make a big difference when you're traveling, having that ability to have actually the convection oven itself. And then on the end, you're actually going to have a countertop extension, a fold up. So just if you're preparing food, need a little bit more counter space, that's nice to have that guy flip up, flip down out of the way. Now, when you get to this setup as well, you're going to get the large refrigerator freezer. This guy still has the tags on it. I am not sure they ever put anything in this refrigerator. But that is definitely nice. Rather than the smaller kind of dorm fridge, as I call it, you've got a separate freezer. You know, if you're traveling long distances, you know, a good amount of time away from home, it's nice to have the larger capacity as far as that refrigerator goes and freezer. Flat screen TV up here. It's on an arm, so we can unpin it and swivel it out. That way, if you're up in the nose and you want to see it, you can. You want to point it over to that sofa sleeper, you can as well. This is set up with a single AC unit and 30 amp service just because of the size. But what I love with Outlaw is you get the ducted, you know, just HVAC itself. So we're going to be able to push that air conditioning throughout this whole system, push it into the bathroom, push it up into the nose, keep it nice and comfortable and a consistent level. I love that about having the ducted airflow there. But what's also nice too is you fire this guy up, you want to circulate some of that the furnace as far as that's concerned. You can get that guy going as well. But that makes a big difference in just the overall comfort level. Some manufacturers will literally, everything's got to come directly through the air conditioner. So how do you get that air into here? How do you get it up in the nose and just keep a consistent level? And that's hard to do. But with that setup, it does make a big difference there. Pocket door on this guy. So we don't have to worry about a door swinging either direction. So from a privacy standpoint, but then also ease of operation and getting in and out of this bathroom area. Definitely nice to have the pocket door. And then as we come in, nice setup here. It's still a very usable bathroom itself. You're gonna have the bathroom vanity, medicine cabinet with a good amount of storage. The radius shower with a skylight above it, so you get some natural lighting, gives you a little bit more headroom. These are RVI certified, so a lot of times people say, oh, well, our showers are just, you know, raised up so we can just run the ductwork of our furnace through underneath there. That is the case here. We have our furnace located back here, but with it being RVI certified, there's an actual P-trap underneath there, and that's the reason why it's raised up. So the RVI certification, Outlaw is the last standing conversion company out there that does it. It's quite spendy per trailer, but I mean, it allows you to be able to go to any campgrounds, you know, public, private. You meet all certifications as far as electricity, their plumbing itself. So you won't be turned away at those type of scenarios. They also advocate and protect our rights to really travel up and down with these trailers, other RVs. So definitely nice that Outlaw still does that. You have toilet, so that's a porcelain toilet. We've got the wood with the puffed seat on it that matches the accent material there, but not just a plastic toilet. Behind it is going to be a closet with 2 clothes bars in there. So good amount of storage and good using bathroom itself. Sometimes you can get into these and they really cramp them down where you're almost having to stand over this toilet to even get in front of the vanity. But the way this is laid out, it functions really well. You're going to have the pass-through door that's going to go into the mid-tack. We'll circle back around to the mid-tack when we get done with the stall area and get to the other side of the trailer. But I love this because you can use this as a mudroom. You can actually hop in, kick off dirty boots, dirty clothes, anything like that, and hop right in here to the bathroom area. You know, they do such a great job of their woodworking. You know, everything's fit. The fit and finish to these Outlaws is amazing. You know, they do dry runs on all these. These are engineered cabinets. They're all hardwood. I mean, they are built by hand. They do a great job as far as the woodworking inside the LQ is concerned. So we're going to work our way back. Up top, you're going to notice that we have a hay rack up there, a sheeted hay rack. We've got a couple 16-inch awning lights that shoot down and out. You'll notice the generator box on a deck is located behind it. We'll kind of look a little bit more at that when we get to the back here. But 2 rows of air gaps with the plexiglass, so the plexiglass can be removed. There is a storage tray for it if you want to remove it. This is a triple axle. These are 3 Dexter 8K axles, so they're rubber torsion. Again, the electric over hydraulic brakes, so great stopping power. With the triple axle, it takes away a lot of the tongue weight on this trailer. It rides so much smoother. From a braking standpoint, you have really heavy duty brakes with the electric over hydraulic option, but you add another axle in there, so that's one more axle of brakes and braking power, so definitely a nice feature there. 17.5-inch aluminum wheels, 18 ply Cooper tires, so these are nitrogen filled, they're balanced. We go ahead and do that on any of our used trailers that come in. We want to have them balanced. When we get them mounted, it makes a big difference on actually how the tires wear and just the way the trailer travels itself. But by having that triple axle, boy, does it make a big difference on your tow vehicle and getting that tongue weight off, but just the way the trailer tows itself. So I talked about the versatility of this trailer, and this is where you're going to start to really notice this. So first and foremost, at the back here, you're going to notice the dual gates. So we did a 50-50 rear gates on this guy. They're independent, so you can open one or the other, doesn't matter. We did a rear ramp on this guy. So if your horses don't prefer a rear ramp load, or you're not going to use that rear ramp can be removed, and we can put the rubber bumper on there. But in this instance here, we built it with the rear ramp. A lot of customers on these stock combo LQs really like the rear ramp, so we just went ahead and put it on there. It's a lot more cost effective to do it when we're building it rather than after the fact, but you know, if your horses prefer a ramp load, this is fantastic. But the versatility part of it, where maybe you're wanting to haul maybe some horses, maybe some livestock, but maybe some toys as well. And now you have that ramp that can go right into the stall area, and that's what you have. Over here to the left is going to be our fuel tank for our onboard generator, which is running right now. Not sure if you can hear it or not, but we fired it up. It's an RVMP. It's a newer generator out there that Outlaw's been using. It's been used across the camping and RV world for quite a few years. It's got unbelievable reviews. Customers have been very happy with them. So if you want some information, we can send you that. But that guy's been running, so there's your tank there. Wheel wells that you're gonna have in this guy. We've got a center gate, but I wanna show you this guy. So this guy here this is called a 48-inch swing with no threshold, so animals don't have to step over anything. But where this trailer really gets a lot of versatility is because this gate actually travels. So I can unpin it from the wall. I can slide it where I want off this upper track. We just ran it a couple feet off the back. So if you wanted to, I could run this guy clear back to here. You'd throw some other items on there, maybe have some horses up there, but maybe again, you want to use it as a toy hauler type scenario. I can run it clear up to the partition wall. Now I've got the pass-through door open right now. So I can't go ahead and get it up there at the moment, but you can shut that door. And then again, I can run it clear up here to this post. So right up against this partition wall. This is a 16-foot stall area. So think about that. You're running a side-by-side, some four-wheelers, those type of items. You can get this gate out of the way. It's so simple to use. But again, you can set it every foot. So anywhere on those posts, we can set that gate. So it gives you a lot of flexibility when it comes to actually, you know, setting this guy up. Maybe you want to haul some horses with four-wheeler type of scenario, you can do that. And then a pass-through door that goes into that mid-tack from here. So we just wanted it to where you could flow, you know, all the way through the trailer itself. And that's what you have on this guy here. A couple LED lights in here, the big OptiBrite lights. Because the way this gate travels, we kind of favored one towards the front, one towards the back. That way when you're moving it, more than likely in each compartment, you actually have the light itself. Now, because of the plexiglass, anytime you're traveling and maybe you need to tie some horses up, something along those lines, well, if the plexiglass is in, I can't run a lead rope around the actual upright post. So you have a tie rail that runs over here on both sides, but it's between the two air gaps. but that way you can leave plexi in if you want. Again, you can take that plexi out. I'll show you where that storage tray is here in a minute. Let's talk about the roof on Cimarron. So that is standard on every single one of them. Doesn't matter if it's this big LQ, a small bumper pull. They're all gonna have this insulated roof. It's fantastic. So it's got a gel coating on top, an R3 thermal value. So from a heat standpoint, it keeps this stall area about 20% cooler than aluminum sheets. It's really strong. It's a 1/2 inch thick, so it's a honeycomb design. You can walk on the roof, it won't dent it. So it'll take substantial hail. But I love the fact on what it does for the stall area temperature. By keeping our horses, keeping our livestock, keeping everything nice and cool, it makes a big difference by having that. You've got some roof vents up there as well, so you can manipulate some airflow. Even if you do have the plexiglass in, you can get some air movement in here. And then when we flip to the other side of the trailer, the floor, what you're looking at is you're looking at the rubber mats, but underneath there is gonna be the industry's best floor. It's a 12-inch deck that locks in high and low like tongue and groove, 4-inch centers with a V-truss in the middle. So anywhere you have a horse or livestock standing on this floor, they're standing on a support beam. So you want to start off with something solid. When you're building a house, anything along those lines, you start off with a solid foundation, then go up from there. And Cimarron absolutely nailed it. They have the industry's best floor. So again, they're standing on that. That floor is going to hold up so well over time because of that. I'm going to shut these rear gates because I want to show you a couple things on the back of this trailer. First thing is on our side posts, you're going to notice on our tail lights, there's this white one here in the middle. And what that is, this is actually a backup light. So our truck, again, we're 36 foot on the floor. Our truck is clear at the other end of this, so it makes a big difference when we're backing up to go ahead and actually have some light coverage back here. You get in dark places, unfamiliar places, get home at night. You can throw it in reverse, those guys will kick on. Definitely a nice feature there. 2 8-inch awning lights on the top rail. There's a good look at that generator box, and then there's a deck that goes all the way across as well. But then you're gonna notice this ladder. It's not a bolt-on ladder to where you have to go directly up the side. It's Cimarron's easy angle ladder. So I can fold that guy down and then I can walk it up. Maybe I've got some hay bags I need to go fill up and I need to get up there to that hay rack. Well, trying to carry all that and go straight up the side of the trailer, it doesn't work. Now I can have everything in there and I can start walking up that. It makes a big difference. This is a fantastic ladder that they've come up with. Maybe you have a bolt-on ladder and you'd like to change to that version, that can be done through our parts and service department. So definitely a nice feature there. All of the lights, the exterior lights, our load lights, are all on switches right here at the back post. They're all on individuals like I talked about, so I could do driver's side, passenger side, rear, interior, all individually if I'd like. Right here at the back, I showed you on the inside where the fuel tank is. Here's our fuel fill. So this is a gas gen here. So it's fantastic. You can pull up to a pump, fuel up your truck, pull up, put gas in there. It's all on the same side. Again, more 16-inch awning lights. So 2 on each side. So we wanted to give you a lot of light coverage. You know, whether it's backup lights, interior lights, these load lights, you will be in places and you won't regret having too much lights on this guy. Where all those tie rings are, you can tie some horses up, you know, get saddled up, unsaddle, whatever you need to. Again, the light coverage is right there. And then it goes into this mid-tack that we have right here. So it's an actual 2'3" short wall on the other side. And then it extends over here. So it's not quite exactly a pie tack is what a lot of them call, but those pie tacks, I mean, they come to an abrupt point, but we wanted to give you a little bit more length in there. So that's why we made it a little bit over a 2-foot short wall. Again, with that 4-foot offset, gives us the capability to put this big 42-inch wide door on here. 4-tier blanket pole rack on a gas shock, so it swings in and out. Carpet behind it to protect items. Brush tray to throw items in there. Those smaller miscellaneous items are hoof picks, brushes, fly sprays, anything like that. You can just set them, things that are just really easily accessible by having them right here on the door, but things you want to be able to get a hold of. Step going in to the mid-tack. Again, that's a big step from ground level up to the bottom rail. Let's break it up, make it easy. But then the 42-inch wide door, the other part of it is because of this right here. Swing out saddle rack. Anytime we do a swing out saddle rack with Cimarron, it's going to be the 42-inch wide door. This guy here, 4 saddle racks. These are adjustable, so we can move them up and down. I could add more if I want. I could take them out, whatever you want, but a lot of flexibility. Where the 42-inch wide door really comes into play when you're comparing it to the competition out there is a lot of them will do a 36-inch wide door. Well, it's still an oversized door. What's the big deal? Imagine a big saddle on this guy, and this door frame now 6 inches closer. When we're opening and closing this saddle rack in and out, we're going to start dragging our saddles on these door frames. Let's make sure we have plenty of clearance, and that's what we have there. But what I also love is whether it's in or out, you got the capability, you can still get through that opening. So like I mentioned, you can go in directly to the bathroom from it with the pass-through door. Everything's carpeted, all the walls, all the doors. Back over here on this other side, we did a couple 18-inch shelves for you. So 18 inches deep, 2-inch lip, goes all the way across there. This is, again, more storage, trying to give you some items, some floor space to throw some items. We did a big set of utility hooks. So those aren't the bridle hooks, those are utility hooks. Those are great because you can, maybe it's the 30 amp cord that you're traveling with, maybe some hoses, some other electrical cords, or they take up a lot more space and you need a little bit more just area to hang those, and that's what you get because of the spacing, the depth off the wall. So we put some of those, but you've got a lot of floor space in here to store items as well. I mentioned the brush, or not brush tray, plexiglass tray. That's what this guy is up here. So we can remove the plexiglass that we showed you in the air gaps. The longest piece will be 4 foot, so you can grab them and set them in here. If you watch our videos, I tell you, keep track of where they come from. This guy here is actually the opposite, the perfect example. The stall sizes are the exact same, so the stall lengths as far as the plexiglass on each side of the trailer are the exact same. So not as big of a deal, but I do recommend on a lot of these, when you pull the plexiglass out, take like the driver's side up or out, tape it, write on there what it is, and then set them up there. It just saves a lot of time and hassle, but this one here is perfect. It won't be as crucial when you go to put them in there, but it's like a puzzle, for example, where you don't see a picture. You just got to figure out where everything goes. So, but that's where that goes. Bridle hooks, couple rows here, carpet behind them. Again, quite a bit of floor space in this guy. You know, in that corner over there, could be a place where you set a corner water tank. That'll fit back in there if you wanted to add some water on board. But you do have a exterior spigot on this trailer from your freshwater tank that you'll be actually using water from your LQ. So maybe you don't want to do that. That's where that comes into play. Because we are a stock LQ, you know, we don't have all the drop windows and mangers, but at least from this standpoint, your mid-tack, your pass-through doors, your LQ door, they'll all have the same key, so you don't have to worry about that. The city fill is back here. There's our plug for our 30 amp cord. Like I mentioned, the holding tanks when you're dumping them, our gray tank is up front, our sewage, our black tank is towards the back there. Here's a good look at the actual slide out itself, the frameless window. On the actual sides, you're not gonna have the frameless windows, but on the exterior, when that's closed, you'll see all the frameless windows, and then you have the awning up above it to protect there. And then the last piece, there's your freshwater fill for that actual tank that I showed you underneath the sofa there. So that's where you're gonna fill that. Anytime you're hooked up to the city water though, it'll bypass this and it'll use that city water. So you're not actually using your onboard water there. So like I said, I am not a fan of the term like new, but lightly used, this guy fits the bill. You can see this guy did not get to see much use at all. So you're getting a heck of a price on this brand new trailer. As far as, you know, comparing it to if we were to build a brand new model, it's a 23. We're gonna have some warranty that we can transfer to you. You can visit with our sales staff about that. But I'm gonna give you the stock number for reference. Again, it's a 2023 Cimarron Lonestar, stock LQ 13.8 with Outlaw. That number is 5U241256. We do take trade-ins, so if you're looking to upgrade, downsize, we can help you. Financing is available and delivery is possibly an option, so we could possibly bring this to your doorstep for you. So give us a call. Anybody on the sales team can help you out. That number is 303-684-3400. Appreciate you tuning in. Have a good day.